All right, guys, welcome to episode 20. Oh my gosh, I feel like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that most podcasts end before episode 20. You know,
really?
That's
we've done it,
and here we are.
Have we got an email?
Oh, hit the big red button.
Oh, we're not on. Whoops.
We are on, but there you go. That way we back it up. We like to back it up.
There we go.
We back it up.
Should we try that again?
No, I felt like that was so pure.
You got it right the first time.
Episode 20, I'm super excited. I really, gosh, when we started this, you know, who knew how long it would go? Who knows how long it will go from now on? But I feel like 20 is a milestone. What do you think?
Well, I want to recognize that we have started out in a very hot room.
Yes.
And we have transitioned to the point where you could see our breath while we're in here.
Yeah.
And now we're back. We get sweaty Tim.
Man, I'm so
who
sweaty.
sits just slightly closer to the air conditioner.
I glisten.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of fun. 20 episodes. There have been.
20.
Is it time for a best of compilation? I mean, there's just so many spectacular moments.
Right in. I know you won't, but right in with your best
20
of.
episodes. Has anybody emailed us yet?
No, I have been checking, but no emails yet.
Okay. Did you check the spam or the? Did you check the spam or the junk folder?
I checked it all. But I'm super excited.
Take another peek. Yeah.
I'm super excited that we get to hang out and chit chat. And today's topic, oh my gosh.
Ooh, nothing funny about today's topic.
Joe, tell us today's topic.
Man, we are doing hot takes. You think this hot right now is about to get real hot up in here, all right? You will be sweating bullets in just a moment. So we're going to be doing our hot takes. I don't know yours. I haven't heard them.
Yep.
But what is that one? You know that you're out of step. You know what I mean? Ooh. You got that one opinion, that one thought, that one, you know, that just say, get it out and defend it. Okay. You know what? Embrace it, right? This is not, you don't have to, we're not going to be sinking down in our chairs. We're loud and proud here today. We got our hot takes.
Safe space. Safe space.
Is that come naturally for you, by the way?
What's that?
Just hot takes.
I don't know. I think it does come naturally.
Does it?
Just real natural.
You're very agreeable.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it does. You know, I got an opinion.
Who's gonna have the hottest takes?
Ooh, who? You think so? You listener at home.
Yeah.
When you see us, because I know that our listeners are people who see us on the regular.
No.
Or your mom. Maybe your mom's gonna call you and be like, "Honey, this was the hottest take." It made me
no, my mom's got some hot takes. We need to have her on here.
That's not what Mrs. Newland sounds like, but
of course not.
I can't do her voice. She's a very sweet lady.
Yeah, we'll do impressions on another episode.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to kick it off with,
let's hear it.
So Channing Tatum.
Okay.
I don't understand the craze. I don't understand it. My hot take is he's more like Channing Thum Thum. Like Thum Thum. He looks like a Thum Thum from Spy Kids.
Like the finger people with the big big foreheads that are a thumbnail.
And that's exactly right.
That's what Channing Tatum looks like to you?
Channing Tatum is what I'm calling him. Yes, that's what he looks like to me. I don't understand, but I'm so happy that he's successful. I think we all need that level of success.
So how much Channing Tatum exposure have you had? I mean,
He's in the movies.
Yeah.
I haven't met him personally or anything like that.
Okay, well, that's your problem.
Oh, he would look less like a thumb in person? But that's my hot take, is Channing Tatum. I don't know who his agent is, but God bless you. You took Mr. Thum Thum and you turned him into a bankable superstar.
Yeah. No, he's a hunk.
Yeah, Magic. Oh, you think so?
I think we all do. Absolutely.
Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
What else is he in? That's the only one I know, to be honest.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I went through his catalog. I can't say that I seek him out. I'll say that.
Sure. Okay, well, where does Stephanie land on this?
You know? I don't know. I should find out if I should be more thumbish.
Should we go to the phones? Open up the phone lines.
Right now.
Call us, let us know what the verdict is. I do think we need a judge here.
Yeah.
You know, that would be nice.
I will say Stephanie's secret celebrity crush is Ryan Gosling.
Okay.
So Ryan, if you're listening, just disregard that. But that is her celebrity crush. And some people say that I kind of look like him.
Yeah?
Not really.
Never heard anybody say that.
I've never heard that. But I think they think it. They just don't. They don't want to say it. So that's
was it? I mean, to you, I mean, is it just like the character? Is that what people went crazy for because of the Magic Mike? And
I don't know, man.
The
and I know he's been in some
dancing
other things.
Is he actually like really short, or is he actually like really like not super built?
I think just his body type and
It's not for you.
his forehead and the whole thumb vibe.
I don't know. I can't picture that. I guess if you watch Magic Mike and you look at the forehead, you're probably watching it wrong anyways. I've never.
Man,
I can't even.
Says a lot about you, and I'm excited that this is a safe space for that.
It's just me and you here. Most weeks it is. Most weeks it is.
You watching Magic Mike wrong. You just watching Mike. You're not watching.
Hey, tonight we're watching Magic Mike. After this, I'll show you how to watch.
You gotta watch the magic. You know, you're just watching Mike. You gotta tune into
the forehead.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah, the thumb thumbs are terrifying though. For real, I'm sorry that you had to think of those.
Yeah. All right, your hot take. What you got?
All right. Okay, I'll start. Where do I start? I feel strongly about this one. This one for me is easy, and I think you'll agree. A few years ago, there was an incident that occurred for some people who were trying to view the Titanic, the submersible, the Titan explosion.
Yeah. Implosion.
Implosion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Implosion. Because it was their fault. It happened inside the submersible.
Yeah. What did they do to make it pop?
Well, it just wasn't built for those depths.
I guess, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's tough to get down there, which is why I honestly believe that everybody on that board should be viewed as heroes.
They should be viewed as heroes.
Heroes, absolutely.
Why? Why? Back me up.
What was your opinion about the incident?
Just sad, tragic.
That alone is more empathetic than I think most people concluded from that incident.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. You know, they were all these billionaires who were on there. You know, they were maybe not practicing the safest methods, but the submersible, the act alone, I think, in just like the pioneering of it, the adventurism of it, the adventure spirit, even to get on there.
Yeah.
I think was absolutely incredible. It's an industry I didn't even know existed. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you know people built things like this and went super deep? And this is the holy grail to get to the Titanic. It's deeper than anything else other people are trying to get to. A lot of people were upset about just the idea of billionaires just flaunting their wealth and doing these type of adventures. But you don't feel that way.
No, so I think that, well, let me see if I hear you correctly. You're saying, let's say that some billionaires or just people were on a spaceship trying to land on Mars.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. Equally impossible.
Yep.
And unfortunately there was a catastrophic event and they all died. We would then look at them as heroes, as like, hey, you were boldly going where no one has gone before.
Absolutely.
Mars. And so you're saying, oh, well, we should view these people as they were boldly going down into the ocean, like that, similar to people who would go to Mars?
Absolutely, yeah, pioneers.
Pioneers of sorts.
Pioneers, yes. I mean, it's a technology we don't have right now, but one day we will.
Ooh, I see.
There have been people who, I think James Cameron visited the Titanic, right? There have been people who have gotten down there.
Okay.
But it's not your average Joes. I understand these people were billionaires.
Yeah.
They were paying $250,000 a ticket to get on there.
Wow.
But they're billionaires.
Yeah, that's a lot of zeros.
It's a lot of zeros to be a billionaire, and there's a lot worse ways to spend your money, right? A Rolls Royce costs more than it. If I found out today, and again, I have an incredible life, an incredible family, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if I could get myself in the mindset where it's just like, hey, if you sell your home, you could go visit the Titanic, like that. That's an appealing offer for me.
Well, you are,
and I am an average Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did the calculations. The amount of impact that ticket had on their net worth is the equivalent of me buying a $7 coffee.
Interesting. So you're saying like, oh well, kudos to them.
There's worse ways to spend your money.
For skipping a latte in that world, and buying a ticket to the Titanic.
And what it's done, I mean, innovation always is like the precursor to like regulations.
Yeah.
And more safety that think of
Yeah.
the Titanic itself, right? It didn't even. I mean, it had half the lifeboats it needed.
Yeah.
You know, and everything that came out of that as far as like 24-hour radio and like iceberg like registries and things. There was a lot that came out of that. I recently watched a Titanic documentary, which got my head
okay,
spinning.
yeah,
But I'm
yeah,
like, you know, as far as like advertising is concerned, like, man, the Titanic was more misleading in its advertising towards the average person, right?
Yeah.
There is nobody who got on that submersible who thought like, oh, this is safe. It's unsinkable. You know what I mean? It was meant to sink.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that if any water got in there, they were done.
Oof.
You know what I mean?
Bro,
They signed waivers.
I'm feeling
right? They did. You know what I
claustrophobic.
mean? Like the amount of legal things that they had to do in order to get on this thing, and people who got on that Titanic didn't even know they were taking a risk. People who got on the Titanic were spending $133,000 for a suite. It was the ultra wealthy.
Wow.
You know? And I think we look at it different. I think the immediate backlash from that entire incident.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't agree with it from the very beginning. All the privileged people are always the first to be able to pioneer something because they've got the time and the resources and the network to make that happen. So like all the memes and everything, you know, they were using like an Xbox controller, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it was like, okay, what else do you have? Like, this is new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Edmund Hillary was the first to summit Mount Everest. He used a wooden ice pick. What else is he going to use?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I thought they had metal back then, but
I think that
I thought the Bronze Age treated us a little more, a little better.
They had like wool socks, man. Those things hold moisture.
Yeah.
You can't climb Everest with that.
Man. Well, and people died climbing that thing.
Oh, way more people have died doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Man. Well, that is a hot take.
You think so?
I do. I haven't ever really considered it that way.
I don't even think OceanGate. They're the company.
Yeah.
They're liable. They did some bad things.
Yeah.
But the CEO of that company was on the submersible.
Yeah, he definitely
died.
believed in it.
He believed in it.
He drank
Like
the
that's all
Kool-Aid.
I need to hear.
Yeah.
You know, to believe like, okay, he believed in. There's some documentaries coming out soon, so I might eat all my words. I don't really know everything about the incident, but like, it had made similar depths before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He believed in it.
And he'd also, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go a little lighthearted. Okay.
Let's hear it.
Here's what Big Cereal and Big Milk don't want you to know. My hot take is, when you run out of cereal, you still got all that milk. You run out of milk, you stuck with all this cereal. They're in collusion. Okay?
Oh.
They're making sure that, well, now I got to go buy more cereal because I got all this milk left over. Or you're like, oh man, I got all this cereal. Honey, I'm running out. I got to go get some milk.
Yeah.
Big Milk, Big Cereal. They're in bed together, making sure that we keep buying their products.
All right, so what's your evidence?
Just life experience.
I mean,
When's
do the
the last
prices
time?
correlate? I mean, when they're going up, are they going up and they're going down?
Well, when's the last time that you finished a bowl of cereal without any anxiety? There's always that last bowl. You're like, oh, I don't know. Is it enough? Is it not? So when's the last time you finished in a relaxed mindset a bowl of perfectly milk cereal and you threw both away in a Zen state?
It's been years.
I know, because
It's
it
been
never
years.
happened. I'll cut to the quick. That's never happened. Nobody's ever finished the two at the same time.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's ratios are different.
They're in it
So it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to nail this one down as collusion. You know what I mean?
I'm going to nail it down.
All right. Got it. I mean, and there's so many different volumes that different cereal takes,
I know.
but the milk is a fixed volume.
I know.
But I guess you could, yeah, okay.
They've done the math. They've done the math on this. That's my hot take.
They could easily be talking.
I'm
For
sure
sure.
they are. They probably party together.
For sure. I'm surprised you don't buy the cereal next to the milk.
There's a reason they call it milk money. You know what I'm saying? Cereal started that. Look it up. And my other hot take.
It's a hot take I've never heard before.
The other hot take that's a piggyback on that is that breakfast is the best meal of the day.
Oh, no.
Breakfast. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no.
When else can you have salty? Check. Sweet? Check. Fruity? Yeah, I mean, you eat, let's say you took bread and you poured syrup on it for dinner. I'd be like, Joe, you've given up, okay? But in the morning...
You're just naming qualities of breakfast, but I don't know if Gordon Ramsay's over there like, I need salty, I need sweet, and I need fruity.
I'm just saying, the 3. What other meal can you be like, I just want salty, meaty bacon with some eggs next to it. And you're like, done. You know what I'm saying? Boom. But no, today, imagine this. For dinner, you're like, Katie, I made donuts.
Yeah, yeah.
She would be like, honey.
It's the most flexible meal.
I'm worried about you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you have donuts at breakfast, sprinkles on top. They're basically cake with sprinkles. And we're like, yeah, do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's so delicious.
I think most of us don't. I mean, I don't eat breakfast. I never eat breakfast. Tonight I had breakfast for dinner. Now that's worth doing.
Yeah, what'd you have? Yeah.
Oh, I had like.
But you didn't call it just dinner. That's the thing. You have to preface
called it
like,
breakfast for dinner. I did.
Honey, this isn't dinner.
Yeah.
This is breakfast for dinner.
And everybody's going, woo!
And everybody's excited.
It's a party. We're having a breakfast
just set it
party.
down like, hey, here's dinner. And she's like, it's breakfast? And you're like, no, it's just dinner.
Yeah.
She would be worried about you. You know?
Yeah,
What'd you have? What'd you have for breakfast for dinner?
We did cheese, egg, and sausage like McMuffins with some hash browns.
Yeah.
Some more eggs, some fruit. Yeah. That was the thing, is Katie was like, well, we have to have a vegetable. I was like, we can't introduce a vegetable here. It's breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, it is hard to get that green bean.
We did some avocados, sliced avocados.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, I can't just get like broccoli right now. Like, this is not happening.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, there are some limitations, but I love biscuits and gravy.
Okay.
I love omelets.
Sure.
You know, I love the cereal and the milk when I'm not anxious about which one's running out first. Yeah. You know, I love the waffles. I love the pancakes. There's just so many wonderful things, you know?
Yeah. It's breakfast is nice. To me, it's just like an afterthought, and then when it happens, it's just like, oh, today's a special day. I mean, I don't eat breakfast, basically. I mean, my first bite of food is usually lunch.
Bro.
That's the first thing to go. If you're...
You only have one life. You only get to live this life.
You know, I'm counting calories these days. I'm not really getting to the gym. Breakfast is the first to go. And if it's the first to go, it can't be the best meal.
Man.
Hot take.
Gotta have that good breakfast.
You have some people in your corner, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, breakfast doesn't get the time of day for me, man.
I think you haven't had breakfast correctly.
Guess not.
All right, what's your next hot take? What you got?
When you're driving and you're in a lane you see is closing and you have to merge. So lane's closing, everybody's got to merge.
I think it's called a zipper merge.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes!
That's exactly what it is. But everybody else who's not doing the zipper merge, that is how it's to be done.
Yeah.
Zipper merge means
one for one.
You ride that sucker to the end.
Oh.
No, you do not. A zipper merge means you do, like a zipper.
You got to wait for the zip.
You do not get over when you see the lane. You have to.
We might have
ride
to,
it.
Let's turn off the cameras right here.
No, I believe it. And I'm going to get a little passionate about this, but human lives are at stake. You do not.
Dramatic. Be dramatic.
No, I have to
dramatic.
be. I care about
There's children in the back of these cars.
My fellow commuters, I care.
Yep.
If you see me ride that lane out till there is nothing left, you should give me a thank you.
Wow.
That is the proper. Do not get over early. Do not.
You crazy. Man.
And everybody who does is ruining my commute. Everybody else commute. They're screwing us. They might be ruining America. It is that serious. How much time have you spent in traffic? You lived in LA. You lived in New York.
Bro.
You can't. Listen, this is what I believe.
Yeah.
When 50% of the lanes are full, everything's smooth.
So you would be okay if, let's say that it's empty in the left, and it's ending. The left lane is ending in this scenario.
Okay.
And there is bumper-to-bumper traffic in the right.
Yep.
You'd be okay if we had half the people from the right lane hop into the left lane.
I would even encourage it.
You would even encourage you.
It balances the scales.
Half of you switch over just so you can switch back.
Sometimes I do because I'm a good Samaritan.
Oh my
And what
gosh.
I'll do is if I see nothing but
you.
daylight in one lane and I'm bumper to bumper, I know that lane's ending.
Yeah.
I will fall on the sword and I will hop in the clear lane.
Bro.
Because I'm trying to make the world a better place. When you have 2 lanes that are 50% full,
you would hate me.
No.
You would
What
hate
do
me.
you do?
I get in the empty lane and I keep my spot on the right. So I'm in the left lane as if I'm in the right lane.
Oh, you're trying to cut people off?
No, I don't cut anybody off. And everybody gets it because everybody hates you.
No.
So here's what happens.
They don't get it. That's why they hate
It's
me.
bumper to bumper traffic in the right lane. Left lane is breezy, right?
Yeah.
And people zoom because if they cut in front like that, the rest of us slow down exponentially, as opposed to like just a cash grab, everybody free for all. Here's what happens. So what I do is I get in the left lane and I go the speed that I would be going in the right lane. And the cars that were ahead of me and behind me leave my spot open. And I stack up. I stack up everybody in the left lane. I stack them up. Until we're ready to zipper.
You really are the problem. This is that is terrible. So you should not be doing that. This is dangerous.
It's a hot take.
This is not. It's not a hot take. Let me explain. I don't even feel like I'm getting a chance here. When both lanes are moving, they're 50%. Let's say out of 100 cars, 50 in each.
Yeah.
Okay. So 50% in each.
Okay.
All right. And you get to the very end, and you have a 1-to-1. You have a 1-to-1. Everybody's alternating.
Yeah.
And that's a relatively, the lanes never stop.
Yeah.
They stop because everybody tries to go, like, it's 90-10 now. And now for the 10 who are doing the right thing, by the way.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to get over to where there's 90 cars, there's 10. Everybody is hitting their brakes.
Yeah.
Or everybody has to do the little game where it's like, oh, speed up really fast, let me zip in here and then hit the brakes. That's what also happens.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. And let me tell you this, before you say another word,
Yeah.
it is faster, and the Department of Transportation is begging people to stop doing what you do.
Because they're known for being just such brilliant
The Department
minds.
of Transportation has done studies to show it is 40% faster for everybody to stay, and you merge at the final point, and not a second sooner, because the more people who merge sooner, the harder it is for other people to get over, and it's not a 1-to-1 anymore.
I want to see these studies.
Well, and it's safer too. It's
Write in.
It's
Email us
correct-
something. Tim and Joe's Awesome Podcast. Let us weigh in. Let us know on this hot take. What do you think?
I hate to be passionate, but again, human lives are at stake.
Children,
I'm just
human children lives, some pets. There are pets that are involved here too. All right, I think, listen, I'm a film guy. Here's my hot take.
Okay.
I don't like David Lynch. I like him, but I
Who
don't.
is this?
David Lynch, he did like Eraserhead, Lost Highway, Twin Peaks.
Okay. I've heard of the last one.
Okay, well,
He's famous in the film world.
yeah, he's like avant-garde. He had that Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
There's
Nicolas
a couple
Cage,
of, but
anything.
I just have a little trouble with him. I feel like he's and he just died this year. I love him as a filmmaker. I just don't think I think the hype is just crazy. It's like all of his sets feel super small. I feel like he's trying very hard. I don't know, but you don't know who David Lynch is exactly, so that'll go out to the viewers. Somebody out there is going to feel like that's more.
I mean, it's a hot take. I mean, you're a bit of a coward for waiting for him to pass away before you come after him like this.
Ooh.
You know.
Well, I didn't want to
spit on his grave a little bit.
I didn't want to besmirch him as a living soul. Well, I never had the opportunity. Nobody ever asked me my hot take on David Lynch.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know. You wouldn't have worked with him.
I would have worked with him.
You would have worked with him.
Yeah, but
Sellout.
I'm just not a fanboy.
What's wrong with his sets? What does small sets mean?
It's just a hot mess. I just feel like they're so messy.
Twin Peaks is good, right? People always talk about that.
Yeah, I had trouble with it.
Those peaks weren't small.
No, they weren't.
That's a small set.
Yeah, I feel like his characters are caricatures. I feel like his abstractions are convenient. I feel like
There's a lot of cliches
it lacks
happening.
a soul.
Okay.
It's unusual, but it's not the kind of unusual that I feel like I get to see the world through his eyes. It feels a little Mickey Mousey. It feels a little 1950s. Well, here's a tale of something strange. Whereas there are strange movies out there, like Uncut Gems, strange in its own deep psychological way.
Yeah. All right, we had Stephen Philippi on episode early on.
Yeah, was one of the episode.
There it is. World-renowned.
World-renowned Stephen Philippi.
Very accomplished. What would he think of David Lynch and your take right now?
We have to ask. We have to ask him.
Yeah. Is this somebody where people can go either way on it, or it's just usually regarded David Lynch is a great?
I've only heard that he's great.
Okay.
And
well, I'd say it's hot then.
Yeah.
I'd say it's hot. I'm sorry, I don't have my finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
So I'm inclined to believe you.
Yeah.
I feel like the Twin Peaks were a large set.
Yeah,
but that's
Blue
all
Velvet.
I got against you.
I enjoyed Blue Velvet. But even that, like the bad guys sucking nitrous, I don't know. It just
a little on the nose.
Like strange for strange sake, but not like why would that guy be sucking nitrous? Like in Little Shop of Horrors, which is not a thriller, it makes sense when the dentist is huffing nitrous while he's causing pain.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But for Dennis Hopper to be sucking nitrous all willy-nilly in a car because he's a creepy dude, I don't know. I couldn't put it together in my head. So I think he's overrated.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Well.
What about you? You got something? Got something good?
I can go. My goodness. How hot do I want to go?
Spicy.
How hot do you want me? Yeah?
Mucho caliente. Yeah, hot. Spicy. But I don't know that anything spicier than that zipper merge. That was.
Is there nothing?
That was.
I can't believe.
That's a spicy meatball. That was spicy.
I cannot
bro.
believe how you.
That was spicy.
How
man.
you take it upon yourself.
I'm a hero.
To monitor.
Everybody in that line is looking at me like, bro. Because if I don't do it,
people.
somebody else does. It's amazing. And they save my spot. They know exactly what I'm doing.
I
and
wish
honestly,
they knew. It makes me sad. I wish they knew.
Children are dying because of my choices. I understand.
Yeah, they are, and everybody's late because of you. I cannot believe it.
They should have left earlier,
honestly wouldn't have thought you.
Well, what's the difference between a zipper point being A or a zipper point being B? It's just I'm the B.
Because from point B now to point C, another mile, is bumper to bumper traffic. When it could be relatively everybody moving, and the one-to-one merge, it takes no time. You will not even hit the brakes. You won't. It's like a zipper. When you zip a jacket, do you? I can't get it. Gotta fight it.
On this.
No.
Because you're thinking of the person who's jumping up. The rest of us.
No one's jumping. No one's cutting lines.
They are jumping.
No, they're not. No,
if people in the right lane jumped in the left lane to merge at point A,
yeah,
that's crazy.
No, they're just taking turns at that point.
Yeah, but they're actually jumping out of their lane to jump back in.
Well, no. Yes, people can jump from the through lane to the closed lane if they're just trying to fix the problem. They see there's 90% of the cars are over here. Let me hop over here. We're going to smooth things out. I'll drive up here and I'll do it properly.
They're heroes.
But if everybody is starting from the same understanding that the zipper merging till the final point is the proper way to do it, then you don't have 90-10. You have 50-50, 50-50, 50-50, 50-50 the whole way.
I think the human element is a bit stronger in the reality than maybe I'd have to see the paperwork.
You're the selfish one.
Let me see the study.
You're the selfish one.
Let me see the study. And I'm sorry for anybody who's lost a child because of my decisions.
Well, we've all lost time, I can tell you that.
Were you rushing to the hospital? Where were you going to in such a rush? You don't eat breakfast. How can you be late? You don't even eat breakfast. You should be early everywhere.
Oh my gosh. All right. I think this is one we can agree on.
All right, give me something spicy though. Come on.
You think you want spicy?
I want spicy.
You want spicy or lukewarm?
Spicy, baby.
All right, I'll bring
Hot takes.
I think pharmaceutical companies
Oh, I love that start.
price their medications reasonably.
Wow. Oh, okay. Let's hear your defense. I'm not an expert. I probably know as much about pharmaceuticals as you do about David Lynch.
Well, I know very little about everything. So
I know very little about pharmaceuticals.
What's your instant reaction?
So my instant reaction is to think, well, what headlines do I know? That insulin costs very little to make, and the upcharge was crazy. There was the home dude who bought the AIDS medication just so he could upcharge it by 20 times so that he could just make money on it. I think it's a nefarious case in those instances where insulin is old technology.
Yeah.
Where AIDS medicine has been going for a low dollar and somebody buys it just so they can take advantage of a vulnerable people group.
Sure.
But you tell me, that's like two.
Yeah.
That's
no,
two.
And that very well could be the case. I think we hear a lot of times about oh my gosh, this medication costs $600.
Yeah.
And I just learned that they're selling it in Haiti for $15.
Whoa.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's frustrating.
Yeah.
We have a system here of research and development and safety that costs a lot of money to make a medication, billions.
Okay.
To make some medication, to get it approved. I'm not defending any other thing that a pharmaceutical company does. I think it's weird, our advertising, and we got to tell the doctor what we want them to tell. The whole thing's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, there's corruption and there is, not defending any of that. Here's what I'm defending. If a company spends billions of dollars making a medication, they only have 7 years to recoup their cost before a generic is allowed to be on the market.
Okay, wow.
And once they've got the medication, and everybody knows what's in the medication at that point. Okay, so sure, you spent $2 billion making a medication and getting it to the consumer and getting it approved.
Yeah.
And then another country who doesn't have to do those protocols, who now knows what the medication is and that it works, they can sell it at face value, but they don't have to recoup the cost of research and development. So you only have a finite amount of time to make any money, and you have to make it worth its while. And there are other times where I don't know what all happens if Medicare negotiations and why some things skyrocket and things are political. I don't know, but I think when the system is working not as it's supposed to, because I'm sure that there's a better way.
Yeah.
But how it's set up to, there's no other option, because there would be no incentive for Purdue Pharma, whatever, Pfizer, to spend any money on a new medication.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't expect them to spend $1 million and then be the Good Samaritan and then take the loss. No, they're only in it to make money, and their shareholders will sue them if they don't. They have no other choice. So they've got to price it out the yin-yang for 7 years, and then it comes crashing down, and on some of their medications, they may even be taking a loss. But they also have to make enough money in that time to fund their next development too. So again, I think anytime you're going to bat for pharmaceutical companies, it's kind of a hot take, and that's not what I'm doing here.
I'd be okay with that if their records were public records. So you can find out how much of the money that they're billions is actually them paying pretty people to take doctors out for fancy lunches.
Yeah.
And there's laws on that as far as how much you can pay per plate. But it would be interesting. Okay, so let's say, give them the benefit of the doubt. Listen, you don't understand, it was billions of dollars. Well, I want to know, if you're going to charge $600 for this medicine,
right,
and I got to pay it, and it's a public service, but you still get to make money.
Well, but it's not really a public service. I mean, they are companies.
Is it medicine? Well, so that goes back to...
Yeah, so that's why we're not defending anything else here.
What's that?
I'm saying we're not defending how the system is set up. I'm not, at least, right?
Yeah.
Or even how the FDA trials occurred and why results of studies weren't available in public. That's still a real problem. I think that the initial price point, though, I get it.
Yeah. I think there is a better way out there, but that is a hot take, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's an uncomfortable one.
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
And good for that. Good for that. Man, that's what's up.
You got any more?
Scintillating. Let's see. I got, let's see, what do I got? I think women make better doctors. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah. I think they're more empathic.
Yeah.
I also think that they're better around bodily fluids.
Okay.
I think they're also more organized.
Sure.
And listen, I'm broad strokes here, but I would say that 9 times out of 10, or I don't know, at least 6 to 4. Let's say more often than not.
Yeah.
I think a female doctor is is more likely to listen
Yep.
and more likely to feel comfortable in situations. It's my hot
The
take.
bedside manner's better.
Bedside manner is good.
Can you remind me, this is going to make me sound kind of dumb, but what is like the step below a doctor that a lot of times we see women in that
Could be a
role.
nurse practitioner.
So the nurse practitioner.
Or physician's assistant.
I get excited when I get the nurse practitioner.
Uh-huh.
Because I feel like I'm going to get her time.
Yeah.
It seems like most of them are women.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
They're smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have to go to all
that
the
doing
school
it
and have
through
all the debt.
Yeah, it's like going, it's kind of like the back door is kind of working your way up. And so you've seen, I could be completely wrong, but I suspect that you've worked at different tiers along that working towards being a nurse practitioner, which gives you a lot of inside baseball on how the whole system works.
And you're more focused on, I think, the time in the room as opposed to the doctor. He's got a lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
Think of like a caseworker.
Yeah.
Caseworker wants to be with the foster child, wants to be with the person having a mental health crisis, but they also know, I got to get back to the office, record all my notes.
Right.
I got to find those phone numbers.
Right.
I got to document everything.
Yep.
And that's the doctor. The doctor's got to document it.
Yep.
And the nurse practitioner is there, and I think that it's a different emphasis. Same thing with like a physician's assistant. And I'm not sure, I don't know medicine, but I'm not sure the difference between those two. But even physician's assistants, I feel like spend a lot of time with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Katie is always talking about nurse practitioners and just how great they are. And so, like, I feel like she's got some knowledge about just the amount of, again, like if you're spending 5 minutes with a patient, like, again, I don't think that sounds a lot better to spend time with patients, I think, than paperwork. You know what I mean? I think that honestly, that's just like the job duties are just too much.
Too much.
Yeah. Can't visit all those patients. That's interesting. I always get excited when the nurse practitioner's there. So
Yeah.
You've convinced me
Yeah.
on that one.
Just like that.
Yep.
Well, I think you already knew.
I love it. You got any more?
I think that's it. You know, I think that's all I got, really.
I'll end with one more.
Ooh.
I don't think it's as spicy. Certainly not as
All right.
a zipper.
I love that.
Apparently struck a chord.
I love that.
The cobalt mining industry is way worse and way more corrupt than coal mining in America ever was.
And I don't even know what cobalt. I know it's a brand name of tools.
Well, it is. It's actually like a mineral.
Okay, a rare earth mineral,
And
like
it's in,
silicon,
Okay.
like lithium, perhaps.
Yep.
Like
Keep 'em coming.
Gold.
Don't give away our table of contents episode. Just a little sneak peek.
Well, what do we use cobalt for?
Electric vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Any smartphone with a phone battery.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the thing that holds the charge.
Oh.
It allows it to hold the charge.
Yeah.
And we're obsessed with, of course, the length of a battery life for practical reasons.
So we use cobalt every day.
Every day.
Okay.
Every day. I'm sure
Microphones
it's in the camera,
have
it's on
it.
my phone. Everything.
This thing's got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's toxic. Cobalt is toxic.
Okay.
All of the mines are in the DRC. That's where the cobalt is. And it is horrendous. And we've got kids, not just a few, but like thousands of kids who are like 5, 6, 7 mining this stuff. Hand digging tunnels. Coal is bad.
Yeah.
It's gotten obviously way better. Early coal I'm
American
talking about
coal is pretty safe.
Yeah.
I can't.
Early like regulations around coal, again, we've talked about how innovation comes before safety, like, you know what I mean? It allowed unions and a lot of things. Here in Kentucky, coal's big, obviously. It's gotten a lot better. But in the early days, there were a lot of coal accidents and fires and things like that. cobalt. I mean, they're digging. So first, everybody who mines for cobalt's like a freelancer, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah,
you
that
just
sucks.
find the cobalt, and you sell it to the corporation that sells it to Apple,
Okay.
or sells it to whoever, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But it's so dangerous. So a lot of people are just digging tunnels, like dirt. I mean, stories of like, they live on dirt floors,
Okay.
and their house is dirt floors. They're mining in their own house, and the tunnels collapse, and
Whoa.
mom's just got to live in the house where her son's buried underneath.
No.
And it's so toxic even just to get it without the tunnels, and so it's so incentivized, of course, in a place where it's just so impoverished, like the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where like everybody's involved. You know what I mean? You can't expect that there isn't child labor, like forced labor and things like that, because it's the economy, But it would be a blip on, well, we said Apple. It would be a blip, a rounding error on Apple's bottom line to provide some PPE.
Yeah.
But they're doing it without gloves. They're doing it without masks. They're doing it without. It's mostly by hand.
Wow.
It seems terrible. I started learning a little bit about it. Obviously, I know, like electric vehicles and things, it generally a good thing, I think, in the long run. Practices hopefully get better. But it is coming at a cost that we don't always see, and not to mention smartphones and everything else. So,
Well, and you bring up an interesting piggyback there of, is it true? I have heard, and maybe it's a hot take, I don't know, that a hybrid vehicle is actually better for the environment than an electric vehicle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And now that's somebody's hot take. I haven't done the math, but the idea that you would mine less lithium, you would mine less cobalt because it's a smaller battery.
Yeah.
But you're also lightening the amount of petroleum used.
Yeah.
Gas, that it's actually in this season, is actually better for the environment.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then we had cars running on hydrogen at some point. Remember that? The hydrogen craze?
Well, where was I?
This was, it was like they were fighting it out. It was like, oh, we got to do electric. No, we're going to do hydrogen. No, we're going to do hybrid. It was like they were all duking it out. And then hydrogen was like, oh, you don't have to mine these things. And hydrogen is super unstable, so it's hard to ship it. But when it runs, the only byproduct is water. Condensation comes out of your tailpipe. Anyways, I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
Interesting.
It reminds me of that 70s show. There's a point where they're all sitting in the basement or whatever, and they're all just like, man, the government's got a car that runs on water, and they're just passing by these conspiracies. Like, probably so.
Probably so. Well, heart goes out to DRC, of course. Man, that's a bummer. I wonder when that changes. I don't know.
All right, let's rank how spicy these were. All right.
Okay.
What's the scale here? What's a super lukewarm? What
are
if
they?
They were like?
Let's see. You measure Schofield. Schofield units is how you measure spicy peppers.
Okay.
So.
All right. So what would be a bell pepper?
That's about all my knowledge. Let's say 10 for a bell pepper.
Oh, I
Because
think
it goes up to like thousands.
Oh, I got you. Okay, so that would be like
Carolina Reaper is like 1,000 Schofield.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's right.
All right. So
Prove me wrong.
I
could be wrong.
I'm not. No one's wrong on hot takes. Right, we're sticking to our guns here.
That's it.
All right. Zipper merge. Where does that land?
Let's save that. Let's save it.
Save it. All right.
Channing Tatum.
All right. It is going against the grain for sure.
Okay.
It is, I'd say, like Jimmy John's hot pepper.
Ooh, a Jimmy John's hot pepper.
Which is delicious.
Man, all right.
Yeah. But it's got some kick.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't order a sandwich without it either, so I can handle it.
All right. Yeah, Jimmy John's pepper, and I'll add 2 banana peppers to it.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. How about Titanic submersible?
Bro, that
Titan.
was a little spicy. I'll give that 4 pickled jalapenos.
Okay, pickled takes the edge off.
But 2 Anaheim peppers. And maybe even a little ghost pepper. Just a little sliver of ghost
splash.
pepper. Yeah, because when you said they were heroes, I was like, what? I had that ghost pepper.
But do you want to know? Do you want to know what I wrote down?
What'd you write down?
I wrote down that they're martyrs.
That's a spicy meatball.
So I took the edge off a little bit.
Right,
I took the edge off a bit.
Yeah, you took the whole ghost pepper and you just took a sliver.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
That's what I'd give it. Well, yeah.
So, milk.
Yeah, big milk and big cereal.
Milk.
In cahoots.
That one, I think. Here's what I think, because I don't think it's true.
Bro, it's a safe space. There are no wrong answers, and
no
it is true.
That I can't get, and maybe it's because my
It's too spicy for you.
I'm not
This is
moved
like your
by
Carolina
breakfast.
Reaper.
This is like if you take a bite out of a bell pepper, but you accidentally grabbed an apple. You know, that's what it is.
Man, I don't know what that means, but
I don't know
I'm
either.
sure I disagree with it.
Yeah, you do. It's hot takes. You have to.
All right, so you're giving it what? Like
It's a 3 on the Schofield.
it's a warm day.
It's 3 Scofs.
Man, you don't even care about breakfast.
I think that's my problem.
That's it. You don't even
But I
care.
do recognize they really could be in cahoots.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they haven't done more together.
they're doing a lot behind the scenes.
A Big
You know what I'm
Dairy
saying?
is probably
like this
just.
thing.
I'll tell you what.
They are the Illuminati.
Big Dairy, it probably is pretty corrupt. And we know cereal, honestly, they're really bad too, man. I mean, most of that stuff is poison, and they
Spice
found
is going up.
I don't think I gave this enough credit.
Yeah.
I mean, they just had a big scandal, right? Who's Tony the Tiger? Who were they? Kellogg?
Yeah.
And they weren't treating people right. There was like really
Yeah.
bad chemicals, forever chemicals in most of the cereal.
Wow. Man.
Damn it, I think it's at least 100 Schofields.
Hey, we're up to 100. We're up to 100. All right, zipper merge. Carolina Reaper that's wrapped around.
Honestly, it's not even. It shouldn't even be a
10,000
debate.
Schofields. Spicy.
The jury's not even out anymore. It's just how
spicy.
you're supposed to drive.
Spicy. Spicy. I appreciate your conviction and your passion.
Somebody has to. I'm a martyr. I think I'm a martyr. I did not expect this. All right, so this is like, for you, it's like eating a Carolina Reaper while you're standing on hot coals.
The Carolina Reaper is wrapped around a ghost pepper. I'm on hot coals.
Yep, on the surface of the sun.
And there is spicy pepper juice going in my eyeballs.
Okay.
Both eyeballs.
Well, I'll be the proud owner of that one for sure. All right.
You win the pepper award.
I guess so.
Female doctors, nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, females better care.
You've only convinced me. Yeah. No, I mean, I think.
We're saying most of the time, not all the time.
Yeah. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to imagine a female doctor being terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, Dr. Frankenstein wasn't a female doctor.
Yeah.
Neither.
They agree.
They agree. Neither was like all these documentaries out on like Netflix and Hulu about like the corrupt doctors and they're taking
corrupt things.
kickbacks and everything, and they're all men. They're all men.
And then it was what was it? What was it? Pharma. That's spicy, man.
It's spicy?
That's spicy. You got all the spice tonight. I'll just say that's like 2 Carolina Reapers. But I'm not standing on hot coals.
Okay.
But that's 2 Carolina Reapers.
There were a lot of like disclaimers on that one. I mean, it was very specific. I'm not going to bat for.
You're saying
for
in this
America.
current system
Exactly.
of how
Sure.
the train moves down these tracks,
Yep.
one can only
Expect
I
the
hear what
outcome that is set up. Yeah.
I got you.
Yep.
Less spicy, 1 ghost pepper.
David Lynch.
David Lynch, that's a spicy meatball. You know who you
know.
are out there. I just lost a friend. I just know it. I was out with drinks with a friend. And he's like, man, that David Lynch, he's so good. And I was just like,
Oh wow.
I loved Eraserhead. Yeah, it's intense. I'm a martyr.
The peaks were small.
Even Twin Peaks, man. I was trying. It's just like,
It's true.
he's like, anyways. But you know what? He discovered or brought out Naomi Watts. Got her established.
Yeah.
And I think she's a gift. In my little view of things, I think she's a gift to every film she's been in. Birdman was amazing, and she really brought it as just like a side role. She just like, even that was pretty great.
Oh, she's no Thumb Thumb. I don't believe I've seen her. I don't believe I've had the pleasure, but she's no Thumb Thumb.
Yeah. And then it was, what was the last one?
Cobalt?
Cobalt, man. That is not spicy. That is true.
Yeah, I think
You know
I'm
what I'm
afraid
saying?
so. Yeah.
So that's that
sounds
one's
pretty,
hard.
pretty gross.
But maybe fusion vehicles or hybrid vehicles are maybe more.
That would be a
kind to the
great take.
environment.
Yeah.
That'd be a hot take.
I think that's hot.
That'd be a little spicy.
Yeah, it is. It's I should have known more about peppers before this episode, but
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll give that a couple of Papa John's.
pepperoncinis?
Peppercini, Papa John peppercini with the garlic sauce and shavings of some Aleppo pepper.
Ooh, I don't know that one. Okay.
Mild.
In
delicious.
Phoenix, in the summer.
In Phoenix, Arizona, but it's air conditioned, but it's an old air conditioning unit, so it's still getting kind of warm in here.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right, well, what a spicy episode, guys.
Woo.
All right, episode 20 in the books.